Hello, this is Sound Has No Cell, or Onile. This is the space that we have and the time that is available. So let's talk. Recently, there is a piece of news trending that a Catholic church somewhere is no longer a church but a shrine, and those who said so because the Catholic church in question celebrated a mass using traditional materials instead of the stainless incense burner imported from Paris or China. They used our homemade clay pots, and one may as well guess that instead of the incense imported from Tibet or wherever, they used local herbs that grow on our soil. I don't know, but that's just a guess anyway. And instead of wearing cassock and robes made with materials made with fabric imported from China or UK, they used our homemade fabric, or at least some fabric identified with their tribes, with their respective tribes. And seeing that, some people were so well, I'll say they were afraid. They were afraid because it's natural. When you see something that you are not used to, you may be afraid. But there are many times that people are afraid for no reason. In fact, people are so cowardly to the point that they are afraid of themselves. And if you are afraid of yourself, then only you knows what you want to make of your life. Now the question is, when they were using stainless incense burner imported from another country, it wasn't a shrine. When they were using incense imported from the Middle East or the Arab world or China or UK, it wasn't a shrine. When they wore cassock and huge robes, flowing robes made with material imported from another country, it wasn't a shrine. When they were using foreign things to perform the mass, it was not a shrine. But now that eyes are opening, consciousness is rising, and people are thinking that a stainless incense burner and a clay pot incense burner are both containers for the incense, something to contain the incense to dispense the smoke round the church auditorium. A container is a container. Now that people are reasoning that instead of making their cassock or flowing robe with our ashoke, our adire, our akwete fabric from the east, our locally woven material from the north, our ashoke from the southwest, and instead of using material imported from China, you are now seeing it as a shrine. Yet you say our economy is not good. I see pastor's wife who try to tell us that they are holy, and they condemn the government, and they say the economy is not functioning, but the hearts that you see on the head of some of them are bigger than 4th generation satellite dishes that you could only see in the homes of very rich people when we were growing up. And where are these hats from? Imported. And they are so proud of it, as if we envy them, as if we are happy that they are not patronizing our local textile industries. You see them in suits and they think it's honorable. They don't even know that it is still the slavery mentality that makes you to detest Akwete, to detest Adire, to detest Ashoke, to detest our clay pots, which is even healthier than the coated pots that you bring in. They think it's a symbol of their exposure of. It is not. Please. And if you are afraid of clay pots as incense burner or smoke dispenser, if you are afraid of people of I don't know what they call the young lads who work with the Reverend Father in Catholic churches, what do they call them? Sacristan. Sacristan. If you are afraid of a sacristan wearing ashoke as the robe, if you are afraid of people using our things to celebrate mass, and you now say it is a shrine, my dear, you have always been in the shrine, because a shrine simply means a place of worship. So now the years that you have spent visiting the shrine, you cannot undo those years, because you have always been you. Your content is from heaven. If you get here and you subscribe to some foreign names, you just use them. I tell you, either you know it or not, you just use those foreign names as wrapping paper to present the content inside of you, so that people will not say that you are from the shrine. But you've always been part of that shrine, and you've always been you. If God made you Yoruba, you've always been Yoruba. If God made you Igbo, you've always been Igbo. If God made you Hausa, you've always been Hausa. If God made you Idoma, you've always been Idoma. If He made you Tiv, you've always been Tiv. You can subscribe to any foreign names to wrap the wisdom that you've been given as Yoruba, that you've been given as who you are. Let me tell you, when they say prophets, you want to translate that to Yoruba and you say Woli. It means that we had Wolis before these foreign things came. When they say you are a pastor and they say you are Alufa, it means that we had the equivalence in with us before the word pastor came. And if they call you Alufa and you think you are not part of the shrine, you have ever remained part of the shrine. Because a shrine simply means a place of worship, where you worship. You can have a shrine in your bedroom. When you put the book that you read there, the bell, the shekere, everything that you use, you put it in that corner, and you don't allow people to go and eat there, and you say that is where I pray to my creator, to my maker. That is your shrine. So you've always been going to church, but because they use stainless steel incense burner, you didn't know it was a shrine. They use robes made with material from China. You didn't know it's a shrine. My dear, it's a shrine. You have always been part of the shrine. So I'm waiting to see how you are going to undo all those years in the shrine. Let us promote what is ours. Use our ashoke, use our adire, use our clay pot, and don't be ashamed of it. Well, you know, I attended a Catholic secondary school, and either you like it or not, on Ash Wednesday, they would make a mark of the cross on your forehead with ash, which we didn't know where they brought it from. And that's not the point. But now that these people are using our effing to draw some marks on their face, maybe they are using our coconut oil as anointing oil, you are now afraid of it. But when they pour olive oil on your head and they use ash that you didn't know the source, or to draw the signs of the cross, you like it. It wasn't a shrine. Now they are using our adi, they are using our coconut oil, they are using our our local chalk. It's a shrine. You've always been in the shrine. So do whatever you want to do to yours. Maybe you go for deliverance, and I wonder who will deliver, because they will still do the deliverance for you in a shrine anyway, because a place of worship is a shrine. So let's promote what is. If you want this land to get better, you want us to grow from where we are, we have to develop the things that we have been given by the things that we have been endowed with by God. We have to grow from where we are. You don't like the smell of the adi. It is by producing it over and over and over and over again that we begin to also bring fragrances from the leaves around us to improve the smell. It is by wearing the adire over and over again, if you are a client or if you are in the fashion industry, it is by working with adire over and over and over again that you begin to get inspiration that will now give us styles that will be acceptable worldwide. That is how to grow. If you don't like all of this, because we use our things, you say it's a shrine, you are an enemy of the land. Have a blessed day.